we're going to explain the InitializeComponent does not exist in the current context error. This frustrating error often pops up when working with Windows Forms applications in C#. It essentially means the code can't find the InitializeComponent method, which is crucial for setting up the visual elements of your form. This usually happens due to a few key reasons, and we'll troubleshoot them one by one. 1. Designer file issues. The most common culprit is a problem with your form's designer file, the write_.designer.cs write_ file. This file is automatically generated and contains the code that InitializeComponent calls to create and arrange controls on your form. If this file is corrupted, missing, or out of sync with your main form file, the write_.cs write_ file, you'll get this error. Check if the write_.designer.cs write_ file exists alongside your main form file. If it's missing, you might need to recreate the form, carefully adding your controls again. 2. Build errors. Sometimes other errors in your project might prevent the designer from generating or correctly updating the InitializeComponent method. This could be anything from a simple typo to a more complex compilation problem. Carefully review the error list in your IDE, like Visual Studio, to address any other errors before focusing on the InitializeComponent issue. Cleaning and rebuilding the solution is a good first step. This forces the project to recompile everything from scratch. 3. Incorrect file references. Make sure all the necessary references for your Windows Forms application are properly included in your project. Missing or incorrect references can lead to the designer failing to generate the required code. Go to your project's references and verify that all necessary assemblies are present, particularly those related to Windows Forms. 4. Namespace issues. Although less common, a namespace conflict can also cause this issue. Double-check that you're using the correct namespace at the top of your form's code file. The namespace should match the project's namespace. If you've renamed your namespace, ensure the consistency throughout. 5. Designer file manual editing. Never directly edit the write_.designer.cs write_ file manually. This file is meant to be auto-generated. If you modify it manually, your changes will likely be overwritten the next time you build your project, leading to unpredictable issues, including the InitializeComponent error. If you need to make changes to your form's visual elements, do it through the Visual Designer in your IDE, not by directly editing the write_.designer.cs write_ file. By systematically checking these points, designer file integrity, resolving other build errors, confirming references, verifying namespaces, and avoiding direct editing of the designer file, you should be able to resolve the InitializeComponent does not exist in the current context error and get your Windows Forms application back on track. Remember to always save your work before rebuilding the project after making